other episode of mrlopezclasses.com. This is the chapter 2 of our course of Intro to Marine Engineering class. In this chapter, we are going to cover tools and fastener. Yes, those important elements used to fix everything. All right, we are going to start right now with the tools. The different type of tool that we recommend that you try to buy slowly, periodically. But me, personally, I recommend buy tools every week. It's your investment in this career. At the end, we hope that you have a great shop full of tools and your truck full of tools. Because this is the advantage of this business, my friend. Let me tell to you something. In this business, if you follow our recommendations and you take the certification, the ABYC certifications at the end of this class, at the end of this program, if you want it, if you are organized, you can keep in your pocket ABYC certifications. That's good. And additionally, you have the certification of this course, of this class. Every class have a diploma. This is good. This is excellent for you. What is the advantage of this business in comparison with the other business, automotive, aviation? In this business, you can create your own company by yourself. And you can start to work by yourself. Once again, if you are organized, professional, clean. For that reason, I recommend when you finish this program, take all the courses, all the certification that you can. And at the end of the program, you have a good panoramic about the program and about the business, the marine business. And you can take a decision. Oh, I want to be focused in hydraulic systems. Oh, I want to be focused in outboard gasoline engines. I want to be focused in diesel engines, in electronics, in electricity, in generators. That depends on what is your preference. Yeah, for that reason, I recommend take all the courses and take a decision at the end. Because in each course, you feel that, oh, this is my topic. I wanted this. Probably in the next course, you think different. Take the courses and at the end, you can take a great decision, decision basically about the future in your career and the future in your life. My friend, remember, you are working hard in this program because you wanted to support your family with this business. For that reason, you need to be fully dedicated. What is my recommendation? In this way, with these videos, you have the opportunity to check the videos 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and you have additionally the book. And with the book and the videos, you can reinforce your acknowledge. Additionally, you can send emails to me or to your instructor, Mr. Rodriguez and other instructors, and you can ask questions. Normally we have 1 conference per week, and we have 1 laboratory per week if it's possible, depending on the country where you are located. If you are in the United States, yes, probably you have one laboratory per week. But this is great for you because it's a lot of opportunities to clarify concepts. Believe me, in these videos you found a lot of theory, a lot of tips, a lot of recommendations that you never find in other programs. Please study, ask questions, and enjoy those classes and those videos. Okay, now we are going to start with the tools. The tools that we recommend and the tools that you need to keep week per week. Save money and buy tools. Save money and buy tools. This is my recommendation. We are going to start checking with Mr. Rodriguez, specifically the wrenches. What type of wrenches and how the wrenches can be used. Once again, Danny, metric and standard.
Correct.
All the time, no?
Metric and standard. You should have always both.
Yeah, correct.
Because I mean, obviously you're going to work on different things, so you're not going to just stay to one side. So you usually need both. You need, and then there's so many different variations of wrenches. It all depends on the application that you're using it on. So that's why, just like a regular standard open end wrench, combo is not going to always solve every problem. Okay, so they have other differentials, you know, depending on the size. You have another one that's big like this.
Correct.
And then you have ones that are hard to get to that you have to go in there and loosen it. Now this one is a combo as well, but it's, you notice it doesn't have an open end.
We're going to try to explain the different type of wrenches, but first of all, I want that our student be familiarized with the comparison with the similar wrenches in between the standard and metric.
Oh, absolutely.
For example, what is the similar for half?
For half would be like 13.
13. For 9/16? 14. For 3/8?
It's going to be 10.
10. Yeah. According with this scale, you have the similarity in between metric, but it's not equal.
No, it's not equal.
It's not equal.
There's so like if you have a 9/16 or a 14 millimeter, the 9/16 probably will not go in the 14 millimeter.
Correct.
It's usually the metric's a little bit bigger than the.
For that reason, my friend, the secret is if you have a loose, if you have play in between the wrench and the head of the ball, this is not the wrench appropriated. You need to check the other one in metric, for example, or in standard. You need to be 100% sure that you don't have play. The play is the enemy of the head of the ball.
Yeah, you'll round the heads of the bolts off.
If you round the head of the balls,
well, what we're going to do when we get to the socket, there's specific sockets for that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, in some cases, what we had to do is we had to cut a groove in it so we can actually put a flathead on it. It just, what it is you just created more work for yourself.
Correct.
By not using the right tool, you created more work for yourself.
I have bad experience with that when the customer say, oh, it's only remove the alternator, it's one bolt. It's because you tried 1 million of times, you destroyed the head of the bolt, and right now you call to me.
It's usually the case.
Yeah, that's the case. All right, the wrenches, metric and standard. This one is simple, no?
Yeah.
But this is different because this is 12 points, and you have the same wrench, 6 points.
6 points, correct.
Be careful with the head of the ball. If the head of the ball is 12 points, you need the wrench 12 points. If it's 6, it's 6 points.
Correct.
Exactly the same with the socket wrench. Right now we are going to talk about the socket. And those wrenches are wonderful because they have ratchet.
Yeah, it's a ratchet wrench.
That's nice, no?
And there's different versions of the ratchet wrench because that same version of the ratchet wrench for areas that you need to get into, the head's
that's
flexible.
flexible.
So sometimes you loosen it and then you can just go like this. Or it's in an angle that you can go like this. But what happens is sometimes you can't get in there perfectly because there's things in your way. Well, you can modify the heads.
Correct. I need this, you need both of them.
You need both.
And you need the other one smaller, the smaller. You need all of the tools as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I recommend in this business, put your wrenches in bags like this. Because it's easy when you enter in the boat with the bags, metrics, standard, adjustable, yeah, you have.
See, this set's a metric set, and this is a standard set.
And look at this, I love it.
Crow's nest.
Wonderful.
Crow's foot, I mean.
Correct, because you use the extension for.
Because you can't get a wrench in there.
That's
so then that's how you have to use.
This is, and you have this one in metric and standard once again. You need all of them, no?
Yeah, well, look, there's an area that you can't get a good bite. You have these that look like a socket, but it's really a wrench.
And you punch, bam, bam.
And you use a hammer.
Yeah, and you use the hammer, and you punch, bam, 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 and you lose. That's wonderful. My dad have that one.
Yeah, this is this comes in handy. Again, this applies to certain applications, so it's not like one wrench is for everything. You know, you got long wrenches. I got short wrenches. I got smaller wrenches, and there's even wrenches for flare.
For flare. This is for hydraulic system. You see, it's an open end, like this set that you have on the screen. This is a specific for flare.
Right.
For hydraulic system. Because you need introduce on the line and tight. My friend, in the course of hydraulic, we are going to use a lot of this, and in the course of air conditioning, both of them. Danny, in some cases, originally you found wrenches like this, but in some cases you need adapt.
Yeah, that's what cheap tools come in handy.
Yeah, that's good.
These are cheap tools. If you look, we've modified it for specific applications.
Because you have only that space to enter over there.
Same thing with that one. And this one we even bent it, we heated it to bend it so we can get it in a certain way. And then same thing with this, we've modified this to make this.
I remember I have one of these to lose the carburetor, the distributors. That's, you need modify the tool. Oh, but
you recover the money easily.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some cheap tools come in handy to make modified tools.
Yeah, that's true. And depend if you are specialized in this type of engines, probably you need to fabricate your own tools, different tools. We have another great example that Robert bring for us. This is perfect, you see, and this is a modification
For a distributor. That's
for
actually
the distributor.
specifically for distributor.
That's specific for distributor. Yeah, my friend, you need too much in this business, too much creativity.
Right. Well, as you work in the field and you get more exposure to what's in the environment, you're going to understand what tools you need. Because what happens is, if I use this specific tool for every job, it may take me longer. Time is money. So if I need a tool that's appropriate, then I can make my time faster. You can get you get it done quicker, and you're doing it. You don't risk the chance of damaging any of those. Because I'm telling you, the number one killer for everybody is you screw up the heads on the bolts, and then you just open a whole different kind of.
Other important recommendation that I recommend for my students is mark your tools, because when you work in a marina, how many contractors are in the same boat during a regular day? 5, 6, 7 contractors. Contractor for air condition, contractor for engine, for generators, and each contractor pick up tools.
Yep. And you know what? As you explain a little bit, I'm going to bring the tool how I mark my tools.
Oh, okay. That's very important. Mark the tool. Don't forget, because you don't know in the marina where you are working what happened with the other contractors. I recommend mark the tools and also organize the tool in bags. In bags, because it's easy. It's easy when you enter in the boat. Enter with the separate bags. You know what type of job I am going to do. I am going to install the twin taps. Okay, I need this type of wrenches, I need the screwdrivers, I need the multimeter, and I prepare in bags the tools that I needed. Oh, this is the marker.
An engraver.
Yeah, the
engraver.
Yeah, and you mark like this.
Let me get the power so you can actually see it.
Yeah, this is good idea. You have power.
This tool here is to mark your tools. All it is an engraver.
And now we have exactly the same procedure with the sockets. We are going to analyze the different type of sockets, how the sockets could be used, and the materials, and some recommendations about the different type of sockets.
Danny, now we are going to explain the different type of sockets and adapters and extensions, but for our student, we are going to post it in the platform of our course, the list that we recommend for any type of marine technician.
Correct.
Check your email, because Professor Rodriguez and me, we are going to send a list of tools recommended in this program. No?
Absolutely.
Those are the basic tools, because in that list you don't have specialized tools. Those are the basic generic tools that at the end of the program you need to keep in your minivan, in your shop.
Right.
Okay, we're going to start with sockets. And once again, metric and standard.
Metric and standard, you have only metric and standard. It's the only two sockets that you have, but you also have specific sockets for different things.
Correct.
But since we're talking about metric and standard, you have 1/4 inch, 3/8, ½ inch.
And other important thing is not only metric and standard. You have a 6 point and 12 points.
Right.
Exactly the same like this is 6 points, and this is the typical 6 points, and we have also 12 points. Those are the typical 12 points, or 6 points like you have on the screen right now. And Danny, what is the difference between this and this?
Well, the 6 point is the one you should always use.
Yeah.
You get the best bite. 12 points, like there's certain head of the bolts that have 12 points on them. That's when I would use it, or it really depends on the situation. But I would tell you 6 points the way 12. I don't use 12 point that much, only for specific things, because you risk the chance of rounding the heads out.
It's easy rounded the head with the 12 points. Danny, what about the difference in material in between that one, the black one, with this?
This is a really hardened steel. This is for like using an impact gun, such as this.
Impact tools.
And so by using this, it could take a lot of force. It's very hard to crack this.
Yeah.
It's easier to crack the metal ones You know, this because this is just stainless steel.
Because the torque produced for the impact tools is.
Yeah, this one's 1,000-pound torch and 800 reverse.
That's incredible.
And this is battery powered. Now you have more bigger ones with air power.
With air, and electrical.
And electric too.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, my friend. This is the other type of equipment that we are going to talk later. But yes, the black ones in general are hard steel.
Hard steel.
For heavy
torque, heavy impact.
Yeah.
Breaking bolts off. You know.
All right. I recommend when you try to work with, if you are working with aluminum and soft metals, don't use those tools because you damage, for example, the oil pans in aluminum or the intake manifolds in aluminum. You crack.
First of all, you should only use this to take things off. Installing it, you should do it by hand, or get this, use the gun just to snug it, and then you do it by hand because you don't have the feel when you're using a gun. Because the gun's doing all the work for you. So it's very easy to snap a bolt, and it's very easy around the bolt if you use a gun. You should just use this to snug it. Once it snugs, then you use a wrench to do the last of it.
Correct. That's very important. Danny, we have three different type of socket. It's a half, 3/8, and quarter. No?
And you have 3/4.
Yeah, correct. Okay, but those are the three most common.
Correct.
And of course, we need wrenches. We need ratchets for.
Yeah, there's different style ratchets. You have a straight, and then you have one for angles.
Angle. Or you have this one also for angle.
And this one's nice because this one here, you can actually lock it in place.
And you fix it the angle that
now
you
there's
want.
some that doesn't lock in place, okay? But this is the one you lock, and then you have some. This believe it or not, it's a cheapie, but it's really nice because it has a 1/4 inch and 3/8 all in one.
You have quarter in one side and 3/8 in the other one. Yes.
This is only for specific things because really this is not a heavy duty one. But I like it. You can make it short, make it long.
Correct. But Danny, I love it. This set.
Oh, that's the best
because
set.
this is the adapters. No?
The adapters to everything that you can
use. To pass from a 1/4 into 3/8, from a 3/8 into half.
Well, look, you get a 1/4 now. So let's take a 1/4.
Yeah.
We just made it into a 3/8. Now we just made it a 1/2 inch. Now you can do 3/4.
You see, those are adapters. This is gold.
Yes.
This is gold in the middle of the ocean.
Absolutely. The only thing is, obviously, you're not going to use 3/4 with a 1/4 inch because you'll snap the tip off.
Correct.
So you have to pay attention on what you want to use and be smart about it. You know.
I never use those adapters to apply the final torque.
No.
You apply the final torque with the socket appropriated. Not with adapters because you modify the torque with the adapters. And yes, you need different. What about those torques?
So these are torques, so you can see.
Torques like the picture that you have on the screen, and this one have a special hole in the middle.
Yeah, because those are so you don't tamper with them. Tamper-proof, but then you would need these specific sockets. Because if you look, this one doesn't have it.
Doesn't have, and this one with hole like this. Oh yeah.
And now some you have inverted. So you have inverted, then you use
female and male.
Yeah, correct.
Oh yeah.
And you even have wrenches.
Be careful because the people say, no, this is a 12 point. No. This is not 12 point. It's torque.
And then you have a wrench for it.
And you have wrenches for torques. Wonderful. This is a magic set.
Yes, this is for specific jobs. This is something I would tell you. You're probably not going to get this in the beginning. You're only going to get this when you need it, and when you realize how important it is, because you might be doing the repetition on the job, then you'll end up getting this set. But like you said, like the email that Professor Alvaro and I are going to send you will be a specific set that would be like a starting set. Okay?
Look at those.
Yeah, these are spark plug sockets.
Spark plug sockets.
You have long ones, you have short ones, and then you have some that have the swivel to get in certain areas. Because sometimes the spark plug's not straight, some are angled, and you're in an engine compartment, so you need to get this on there and then use the ratchet too.
Yeah. I love it. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. There are adapters like this for regular sockets, no?
Correct. Yeah. You have this one. This is the regular one.
Yeah, the regular one.
And here's another thing. If you really pay attention to these, you can actually put a wrench on.
Yeah, correct. You can
Because sometimes
use
it's so frozen,
or you can use
it's frozen on there, and you got to really put. It's better to put a wrench on the end.
Yeah. Once again, you need all type of wrenches, all type of sockets, all type of extensions, because you don't know with what situation you are in the middle of the ocean. Danny, I love it, this tool.
Yeah, this is a cool tool. Believe it or not, I just got this.
Oh, really?
I saw it. I'd never seen one before. This one is to clean surfaces.
Yeah.
And you can use your.
Of course. Yeah, that's
clean.
wonderful. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I just got this. This is new, but this is, again, I've been doing this for a long time. You just keep buying tools because certain tools make your life easier. If it makes it easier, you're quicker at the job and you make more money.
Yeah, and don't forget you have a short sockets, deep sockets. Depending on the situation, you need a different type of sockets.
So you know what a nut driver is, right? It's like a regular, it has a little socket at the end. Well, what if you had one that's universal that I could go put this on there. Put this one here. Let's just do it on this one here. You can hold it, and so let's say you break it free, then you can screw it off.
With your hand.
Just like a little socket like this. See, I'm taking the spark plug out of an engine.
That's wonderful.
I break it free, take this off.
With your hand. Yeah, it's similar to the nut drive, but you can extend with the.
And there's different sizes. I got short ones, I got the long ones.
And once again, this is Mac.
This is a Mac.
Wonderful, excellent tools. The brake.
It's a breaker bar.
Breaker.
It's exactly what it's called is what it does. It's only to break the bolt free. You're not going to take the whole bolt out with that. Correct. That's just to get it to move. Here's the whole. This is something you guys will get with time. You're going to feel when you're going to break it. Until you break one, you're not going to really understand the feel. But your whole idea is if you can get the bolt to move, then you can get it out.
Correct.
But sometimes you need heat.
Yeah.
So it's not just taking it out.
Yeah, I know.
You have to assess the situation because, again, when you heat metal, what does it do? It expands.
Yeah,
so if the metal expands, that means when your bolt's in there and it expands, it releases a little bit so you can get the bolt out.
Correct.
So, like on a day today, it's kind of cold. Today would not be a good day to take a bolt out without heat. You'll definitely shear the bolt. Now, there's one more socket I want to explain. So let's just say you round the heads up.
That's very important. This is an extractor.
This is an extractor for bolts that have rounded heads.
Yeah. If you check this extractor, in the sense of the helicoid is opposite. In other words, you introduce in the damaged head and you go in the opposite direction. Yeah, that's perfect. It's a helicoid.
It's almost like it's an extractor.
It's an extractor like this.
So you don't so that way when you have rounded heads, I usually try to get the tightest one and hammer it as hard as you can, and then get it out.
You need a lot of extractors. Extractor for bolts, extractor for screws, millions of extractors.
Yeah, we'll show the video. We got a bunch of extractors. So many different extractors that you've never seen.
Yeah, especially in marine application, you need a lot of extractor, like the extractor that you have on the screen. It's basically because we have the similar metals in contact with the marine environment.
And you're in saltwater. We're in Florida. You're in saltwater. Even the air outside, because we're in Florida, we're close to the ocean. You have salt water.
The majority of the outboard that you found it in Craigslist for $100,
that's usually
it's because the bolts are broken.
No? Bolts are broken or they're going to break.
That's true.
One of the two.
Yeah, it's the similar metals in a marine environment produce different type of corrosion, and at the end of the day, the bolts are broken.
The biggest thing you guys have to remember is pay attention to detail. Am I using the right socket? Am I using the right tool? Is this tool going to help me? Am I going to have a mechanical advantage? Again, I go back to the mechanical advantage. You try to break a bolt free because this is longer, you have better than using this. So if I'm taking the same tool off with this, it's going to take more strength for me to move that bolt than it would be this because you have an advantage.
Correct. And now we are going to prepare the set with the different type of hammers that we recommend, and the different type of electric tools recommended for this business. Now we are going to continue with the hammers, different type of hammers. The hammers are critical.
Absolutely.
Why you prefer in general the hammers with rubber?
Well, it absorbs the vibration in your
Yeah,
hand.
that's very
For
important.
one, and it's
For
more
example,
comfortable.
that one, no?
Right. This has the rubber end, and this is a wood end. This is the old school style.
Yeah, that's wood.
It's still good, but the rubber piece, you get a little bit better grip. It doesn't slip out of your hand. And there's different.
This is the ball hammer.
That's
no?
a ball peen
ball
hammer.
And this is the old school.
It's an old school ball peen hammer.
In wood. That's perfect.
And then you have different. This is the 48 ounce. This is when things won't come out really
Yeah.
the way you want it to come out.
Yeah.
And this is what you call the last resort.
Yeah, the last result. Yeah.
This is the last resort. And you have a smaller version as well. I call it Thor's hammer.
Yeah, we need a lot of.
But this one's an advantage because you got a better swing and
correct.
swing.
And,
you really shouldn't be using those unless you absolutely.
And that one is excellent.
Yeah,
no?
that's another one.
It's plastic with rubber.
Right.
This is wonderful for small approximations.
Correct.
And also when you introduce pistons, probably you need a lot of copper.
Right. Well, they have ball peen hammers that are brass. I
Yeah.
particularly do not use them. I use these.
The
they're-
brass hammer is that one.
And the reason I use the brass because it absorbs the impact.
Correct.
Compared
and
to,
it's a soft metal.
it's a solid compared to a steel
Correct.
that it'll bounce back.
it-
You won't get a good solid. You get a solid hit with brass than
Correct.
you do with.
For that reason, it's good idea try to keep different diameters
Right.
of a punch.
And obviously, sometimes I modify them to make them a certain.
Depending on the
Depending on
situation.
the situation.
Okay, that's wonderful. What about the slider?
Well, this technically is a hammer. It's
Yeah,
just
it's a
instead of
hammer.
hammering like this, you're hammering out.
In the
Because
opposite
you're trying
direction.
to pull, you're hammering something outwards.
opposite
Now
direction.
this one here is a 10-pound hammer.
Yeah.
And and then you have smaller ones for different applications.
Yeah.
And you even have a smaller one that has a little grip there, so you can just
To remove
Little things.
To remove seals.
right seals. And they actually have extractions that have little claws that can open up,
Like this
close
one.
down.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's perfect.
And so this is what they call a slide hammer.
Yes,
That's you're not, instead of hammering, you're hammering out.
Yeah, it's a slide arm. Okay, a lot of hammers, smaller, big ones,
Right.
But never in marine application use the carpentry.
You use the carpenter hammer in your work, I'm throwing it in the garbage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That is it.
What about this, Danny?
So these are little punches. These would be like if you had to take a pin out or a dowel.
Yeah, no.
And you can see. I mean, you're obviously only using these for specific applications.
Yeah.
It depends on the application.
Oh, I remember in the carburetors to remove the needles.
Right.
That's
And if you notice, this one actually has a little ball at the end.
yeah, at the end. That's
Okay.
okay.
And then there's other things. So like say you're gonna drill a hole and you need to do a center punch. Well, we have these here that kind of works like this. So you see. So let's just say for this hammer right here, I would go like this. It would make a mark.
And you mark in order to do the drill.
Instead of getting to do it, you can actually, this is just enough that it'll make the move. And there's different versions of it. You have flathead, it all depends on what, and you can also mark your pistons with this, or you can mark whatever.
Yeah, mark the head of the piston or to indicate if the piston is facing forward or back.
Correct.
Okay, that's good. A lot of hammers.
Right.
And those are the screwdrivers, no?
Right.
We have a lot of screwdrivers here. Wonderful.
Yeah, screwdriver, well, man, there's a variety of screwdrivers.
Screwdrivers.
It all depends on the application. I'm gonna just pick this one up. This one I specifically use for trim units and lower units.
To remove the drain.
And what happens is if you don't use the right size, you can round out the edges.
Like this.
Right,
Yeah.
and then you won't get it out. Okay.
Correct.
Now some have actually, like in this particular one here, this one's nice because you can actually put a wrench on this as
You
well.
put the wrench over there and
So
you help.
it helps. Now I always tell everybody when you're going to take a bolt or a screw or Phillips or flathead, you should always tap it with a hammer first, so you get in there really good deep. Not only that, the impact when you hit it with a hammer kind of might loosen up some of the stuff,
Correct.
and then you take it out. Because we also have, which I'm going to get while you explain this, is
the impact. The impact. That
Yep, and I'll show you that. 'cause I have
It's
those.
very common, and we use in different applications in the transmission to remove.
Yeah. So explain that. I'll get that meanwhile.
Long screwdrivers, short screwdrivers, Phillips screwdrivers, flat screwdrivers, not drives metric, not drives standards, not drive in different dimensions. Smaller screwdrivers, Phillips and flats, and a different length of a screwdriver fit is a smaller thinny screwdriver for carburetors, for injection.
Especially electronics. Electronics use a lot of those small ones.
And you bring the impact tool.
Yeah, so this is the impact we were just discussing. So how this works is if you got a bolt that's kind of frozen, you're stripping it out.
Correct.
You could either put a flathead, and you have adapters for different versions.
And you punch, in the moment that you punch it, that they twist it counterclockwise.
Yeah, you have to put the twist on it, make it tight, and hit it, and the impact will push it and move it.
It's to lose balls, but when you use those tools, you need
Room.
You need room.
You need room, and you need to get a good solid
Correct.
hit. You can't just a little taps. It's gotta be
And
bam.
you need to prepare the area because you need punch properly, like a man.
Absolutely,
Like a man. All right. Great. Yes, my friends. A lot of tools, a lot of different adapters. What about this, Danny? This is.
So this one's pretty cool. This one here is for like, if you're in a boat and the screw's all the way down the bottom and you can't reach it, you can put, there's adapters for this.
Those adapters, yeah.
Let's say it's just a flathead. So you can just put the
You
adapter
put
right in.
flathead, you put Phillips, you put
You
Torx.
have it in there like this, and you can go in there and you.
Yeah, in some cases you need to fabricate the screwdriver. No?
Oh yeah, sometimes you have to fabricate.
Because
the
in the boats, the inconvenience always is the space. In the majority of the cases, you don't have the space.
No, that's most of the time you don't have space.
Yeah, you don't have the space.
So you have torque screwdrivers.
Torque screwdriver. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes.
You know, that's for like specific things. Like again, you guys will realize what you need the more you're in the field. Then you also have scrapers. You have a little actually this was a little pry bar. So there's a tiny pry bar and that's a big
This
pry
is
bar.
the big ply bar.
And then I even have bigger ones. It all depends on the
In
application.
the next coming car classes of gasoline and transmission and diesel, we are going to use a lot of this to separate the transmission, to separate the bell housing. You remember?
Absolutely.
This is an important tool. And you need to be careful with that too because you can damage the gasket, you can damage the
You
head.
damage the metal.
Yeah, and the metal.
Absolutely.
Careful
So
when
because you got to remember what metal you're using. If you use a soft metal, you can't use that.
Correct.
Like aluminum, you can damage aluminum.
Scrapers.
And these are scrapers to clean the gaskets off.
Yeah.
You keep the glass when you're changing a water pump or you're taking the heads off, you scrape it. But again, you have to pay attention because you can groove. If you groove in the metal, what happens is you create a problem. So you got to make sure it's flat on the surface and you're scraping a little piece at a time.
Yes, this is another of the projects that we are going to do in gas and diesel is we are going to fabricate gaskets because in some cases in the middle of the ocean
You're in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas.
Yeah, no one. It's not like you have a marine, West Marine or a marine place there.
Yeah.
You might be in an area that
For that reason, it's important keep the roll of a cork or a gasket for gasoline.
Any kind of gasket material.
Any type of gasket material in order to fabricate the gasket with the bronze hammer and with the knife carefully because this is the only solution.
Absolutely.
All right, we have screwdrivers, socket, wrenches, hammers. Danny, now we are in front of a lot of pliers for different applications. The most common pliers are point pliers.
Needle nose?
Needles.
But there's different sizes. You got long needle nose,
longer,
you got
smaller.
small needle nose, you got angled needle nose.
That one.
You got needle nose for pulling hoses off.
Hoses or spark plugs,
Spark plug,
cables.
and you have the one to pull out spark plug wires.
Yeah, that's for the spark plugs wires. Oh, wonderful.
And you have a flathead, really solid flathead one.
Flat, longer, smaller.
Yeah, those are the needle nose.
With
Different style needle nose.
With a spring return. Cutter pliers.
Cutter pliers. You got different sizes. You got small ones, big
Big
ones,
one depend.
and there's ones to cut batteries, cables. There's so many
those
different
are
ones.
the electricals. The electrical
Right.
we have the pliers, the crimper.
Yep,
the
you have different
like
crimpers.
this one.
You got 3 different
That one,
crimpers.
that crimper on the screen is that crimper. Cutter wires,
Splicer.
scrapers, and channels.
Channel locks. For specific, I got bigger ones, smaller ones.
Smaller.
This is the traditional ones that I keep in my toolbox.
Yeah, that's true. And vice grips.
And vice grips. Now this vice grip is different. This vice grip is like if you want to find an overheat on a blowout valve, just crimps the hose. So it crimps the hose so it doesn't damage the hose. That's the only really purpose. It's a vice grip. It's just to block the water passage so that way you can see and determine if there's a problem.
This is the regular.
And that's a regular.
The regular.
And you have different sizes. You have small ones,
smaller.
you have needle nose versions, I mean you get big ones, mediums. It all depends on the application.
On the application.
And then you have specific tools, like this one's made by Mercury, just to take the lock pin out, to drop it out. So,
Correct.
and there's other tools that are also look like this, but they're other for specific applications.
Yeah.
But that you get from the manufacturer.
Depending on the manufacturer.
And then you have your oil filter wrench,
To remove the
a
oil.
universal oil filter wrench.
But we have other type like this with chain,
Yeah.
and we have with belt.
You
like
have
this.
one, you have one with a belt, chain. You have one with just like a little can wrap.
Oh, that one.
Right.
Right. There are different, and we are going to show different tools depending of the course. In diesel we have big filters. In
Yeah.
gasoline we have small filters. But my friends, probably there are more wrenches.
Oh, there's more. We'd be here all day if we showed you everything.
Correct. But the only that we want that you know is that you need a lot of tools. You need to invest in tools. Every week try to buy tools. This is the only way.
Well, imagine if a doctor that you go to doesn't invest money on a stethoscope or a
It's
knife.
exactly the same.
You know,
Remember, my friend, you will be a doctor in both.
yeah, you'd be a doctor.
That's our goal. Okay, and those are basically the tools that we are going to use.
Yeah.
And the next episode is about the electrical measurement tools.
Yes.
We recommend that video. In that video, we explain the load tester, the voltmeter, the ammeter, the megometer. This is the next coming class: basic electricity and advanced electricity. But only for a small introduction, I want that you check that video.
And also for the intro class, you might as well start acquiring some tools because as you keep going in the classes, you're going to need your tools.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
So make sure you start buying your tools. At least we give you an idea. Again, we'll send you an email explaining what tools that we would recommend you to get. Get the tools, so at least you have the tools. Because really, there's no better way to know your tools unless you use your tools.
Correct. And now we are going to try to show on the pictures chop tools that we don't have in this moment here, but we want to explain. One of the most important is the hydraulic press.
Absolutely.
The hydraulic press, we are going to use the hydraulic press to remove bearings, to separate the shafts.
Yep.
It's a lot of
And there's specific tools that you need, like in the bearings. They actually have a tool to
the
cut
adapter, yeah.
the adapter so
That
you can
one,
pull the bearing
that one.
off. Correct.
To remove bearings depending on the diameter of the shaft. The hydraulic press is an important tool.
Yeah. And the hydraulic press we have here is 60,000 pounds.
Yeah, I know. And
So
you need the torch.
Torch, absolutely.
That's very important because we are going to. You see Mr. Rodriguez in the laboratory separating shafts. The torch is.
And you guys will learn that in the lab. We will teach you how to turn on a torch, how to turn it off,
Correct.
how to heat things, how to extract things when you're using the torch, because it's important. Because in this industry, your torch is going to be a good friend of yours.
Other important elements are the drill press.
Absolutely, drill press.
That's critical. It's necessary.
Extractors.
We need a lot of hydraulic jacks. Hydraulic jacks are similar to the hydraulic jack used for transmissions. Those are excellent in order to remove the lower units. And we have a special tools like this to remove the lower unit. This is part of one of the episodes that Mr. Rodriguez and me we did, removing the lower unit in a Bravo and Alpha, no? That too. And a lot of different electrical drills.
Yes, my friends. And finally, I recommend that you try to buy tools, electric tools, or cordless tools, or air tools. Each tool is available in 3 options. For example, you have a drill air tool, you have a drill cordless, or you have a drill electrical. What I need? All of them. You need all of them. I need a jigsaw electrical, cordless, and air. Exactly the same with the rest, with the jigsaw, with all the tools should be electrical, air tools, and cordless. Yeah, because depend where is located the boat, you need to use one or the other one. Yeah, slowly. I recommend try to buy, for example, the cordless tools, all of them the same manufacturer, because you have a couple of battery chargers and 4 or 5 batteries, and those batteries are available for all the tools that you have in your car. Use the same brand.
A lot of different electrical drills.
Yeah. Cordless drills, electric
grinders,
air drills, air hammer. There's a lot of things. You guys will see during the course when Alvaro and I are taking things apart. You'll see the tools that we're using, and we'll explain that too. So.
In some cases we use air tools. In some cases we use electric tools or cordless tools. But you need all of them. Sorry, but you need to buy all of those.
Eventually, you're gonna need it. If you're gonna be in this industry, you have to have.
Yeah, you have. This is a wonderful business. Welcome to this. In my opinion, is incredible business.
It's the best.
If you are organized, if you are professional, if you are honest, you grow like this. If you make mistakes, you grow like this. You go down.
Bad news travels fast.
Yeah, that's
and not only that, we're doing everything we can possibly do to make you the best technicians. So in a sense, you represent us.
Yeah, that's correct.
We want you to be the best.
Yeah, that's
There's nothing more than we want to make you guys the best technicians. So it's the best thing is to watch the videos, follow it, ask questions during the conference, ask questions to us. That's what we're here for. Pick our brains. There's no such thing as a dumb question. The only dumb question there is the question that you don't ask. So it's
correct.
important.
You can write to our email, the email that we have on the button, and we solve it immediately because this is our passion. For Mr. Rodriguez and me, we love it. We love it, this profession. We love it, teach. And we enjoy teach. We enjoy be in contact with you.
And you guys get to see real life.